what time it is, but I'm going to wait for one more minute for a couple of people to hop on. And I have a very special guest on with me tonight. Go ahead and share this out. Let everybody know that the Girl You Better podcast is live. And we'll go ahead and get started. We won't delay on this Thankful Thursday. Tonight, I have with me on the Girl You Better podcast, Miss Ashley Salem.
Hello.
Oh, how are you doing?
I am well. How are you?
I'm doing great. And the reason why I am bringing Miss Ashley on tonight, and I will introduce her properly here in a second. Of course, if you don't know by now, December the 4th, sorry, let me stop my music. December the 4th in Omaha, Nebraska, in my hometown, we have a wonderful event for all of you. It is called the Birthing Season, December the 4th. And Ashley is one of the presenters that will be bringing the fire. She has a message for all of us on tonight that I think that we want to hear. So if you have tuned in, please share this. Please share this. Please send it through a messenger. You know, if you don't want to share it on your page, that's fine. But share it out to somebody who you think needs to hear this, because Ashley Salem, she is the meditation guide and cognitive behavioral therapy practitioner of Benevolence, Disposition, LLC. Through her own journey of healing, radical acceptance, love that, pushing past limiting beliefs and being cultivated by God, she's grateful to say that not only is she still standing, but also thriving. And Ashley will speak to the benefits of meditation, self-care, and breath work that she'll be offering at the Birthing Season event on December the 4th. And before I forget, let me introduce my own self, which I am Coach Ronnie B, if this is the first time that you have seen my face. And I am the resiliency and relationship coach. And what that means is that I help people discover tools that they can use for their mind, body, and spirit so that they show up as their highest self every single day of their lives, no matter what life brings to them. Thank you so much, Ashley, for coming this evening.
Yes, of course. Ronnie B, I honestly want to thank you so much for having me. I am absolutely honored to be here. Oh, and I also want to say happy Veterans Day to all the veterans, because today is Veterans Day. Yes, I'm Ashley Salem. I'm glad to be here. I am the linguistic artist, meditation guide, and cognitive behavioral therapy practitioner of Benevolence Disposition LLC. I've always been the person in the room who is interested in getting to know the why of the why of the why.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing people's eyes light up when they tell me their stories and share their stories with me, the things that they're passionate about, things that excites them. Oh, God has been moving in my spirit and cultivating me. And on an ordinary day, you can see me writing, drinking tea, uh, making deep connections, speaking to God, and definitely trying to find the best deal on fresh mangoes. So I'm happy to be here.
So happy to have you. Now, there are a couple of things that, of course, I would like to know, and our viewers would like to know as well. First, why did you agree, or what brought you to accept the invite to be a speaker at the birthing season?
Yes. So first of all, Mrs. Shay Pogie, can we just take a moment to acknowledge like the wonderful woman that she is?
Yeah.
Um, so when she told me about her vision,
Mhm.
and really feeling God stirring her spirit and pulling her, calling her, inviting her um, to create an event, I was inspired by her just saying yes to that
Mhm.
ushering.
Mhm.
Um, and along the way, really things falling in place. Meeting all of you ladies, that will also be speaking and sharing your stories. And so when she first told me about what she was feeling and bubbling in her spirit,
Mhm.
it definitely resonated with me. It definitely resonated with me. And like I mentioned before, God has been cultivating me for a long time, um, and in giving me the courage to speak about the things that I've been through and the things that I have triumphed over, and then also the things that have hurt me along the way. But I know that it gives people power, that they can get through it too. So that absolutely resonated with me. And before my lips were able to form the word yes, my spirit and my heart said yes.
Mm. Your
Yeah.
spirit and your heart said yes before your lips said yes.
Yeah.
Um, that is so beautiful because saying yes, our yeses, like it should always include what you said. Before we say yes too soon, because sometimes we say yes to things just because perhaps we may want to please somebody, or we may just want to be of assistance and help. But when your yes is coming from a deeper place,
Come
then
on now.
then your show up is gonna be so potent, and um it's going to be different, and it's going to be tailored, and it's going to be of real true heart service.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what it was. So it's almost like you think about, oh, I need a dress for some event, and
Hmm.
you're like, well, how am I get the dress? I don't know. I just need a dress, and then somebody knocks on the door, gives you a dress. It's the same size and everything. So it's just a perfect situation because you was preparing for this, and you say yes.
Yes.
Um,
Well, what do you hope to see happen at the event? What are your expectations, or maybe you don't have any expectations, but what are you hoping to just see, come about?
That is such a good question. There is so much. The word expectation doesn't necessarily fit within this answer for me as I reflect on
Hmm.
it, but
Hmm.
the hope, the invitation,
Mm.
um, is literally just to see people have compassion for themselves and compassion for others. This has been a very hard time for a lot of people um, because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah.
In some ways, it has highlighted issues that some people may have tried to put under the rug or just not deal with.
Yeah.
And there's definitely a prompt here for us to take the time and reflect on those things, even if it feels a little uncomfortable. So I hope that when people come, they have compassion for themselves, learn to have compassion for others, come with an open mind, and come to enjoy themselves. A big thing that I do with meditation is really being able to drop to the bottom of an experience
Mhm.
and feel the energy of the room, feel um how it is to put on that dress that maybe was in the back of your closet because you didn't have, we're in a pandemic, you didn't have a whole bunch of places to maybe go to wear this outfit, or maybe you got an outfit just for it. um and you put this outfit on, you go to this event, and you are able to enjoy yourself, see other people. It's going to be super classy. Talking to Lachey about everything, I'm just so excited. um, and to also release, an invitation to release is what I really hope for everyone that comes to this event. And what I mean by this is there are things that happened in our past, good, bad, and indifferent.
Mhm.
And rather than wanting to stay in the past or really, really try to predict the future, to
Yeah.
really be able to be in the present. And then being in the present, Ronnie, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing because we can allow ourselves to just let go.
Yeah.
There is a meditation that I love to do with clients. I'll say it slow because it's a quite a big word, but Hapa Pono, and it's a forgiveness meditation.
Mhm.
And in the words of this meditation, it addresses, the things that happened in the past that maybe didn't feel so good.
Yeah.
Um, and then also saying thank you and I love you for all the things that have happened great and grand, so that we can understand and fully accept the whole situation and be able to move on.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Now, Ashley, I heard you speak of, you mentioned the word compassion, you mentioned the word release, and just accepting that invitation to do so. Can you speak a little bit about, because we're talking, you're the meditation guru. Um,
Ooh, guru.
girl, look, just own it. Just own it. Look.
Oh no, that word
Okay,
doesn't really
okay,
resonate, but
okay, okay. The meditation expert
meditation guide. I'm okay with it. I
guy.
know that's not the precept. I'm with you, Ronnie. Where are we going, honey? I'm ready.
Yeah, okay, okay, yeah. I know I kind of push. But can you speak to us about the importance of taking time to actually meditate? Because sometimes that's something that's a little taboo, or it feels a little weird, or it sounds, kind of awkward to do, or people just feel um not connected on how to get to a state of like meditating. Can you speak to us why it's important for us to meditate?
Yes, yes, I can. And I'm glad that you asked that question because it's a common question and it's a perfectly fine question.
Okay.
What I said about me being interested in the why of the why of the why.
Hmm.
This is very much a part of, tearing ideas apart, putting them back together, looking at them, seeing if they fit, looking at it from different angles, being kind of analytical about it. And meditation, first of all, um, there are a lot of, I would say, negative associations, misguided beliefs, preconceived notions that
Hmm.
may fit for some people and may be exactly what they need in their journey. But meditation as a practice of mindfulness
Hmm.
is beautiful. It's talked about in the Bible. It is something that allows God to talk to us. Um, and it's different than prayer. So I would like to kind of go into that a little bit because that definitely goes into part
Go
of your
ahead.
question.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
I'm here for it.
Okay. So in my opinion, in my research and Prayer and meditation are both pieces to be in your toolkit for a healthy relationship with God in your spirit. Prayer is our way of communicating with God.
Mhm.
Um, God, please help me with this. God, this is the kind of day I had. It's our conversation initiating with God.
Mhm.
Meditation. Meditation is when we allow ourselves to just be filled with the Holy Spirit and to see what it is that God is saying and telling us. God, allow me to process the things that I may not even realize that I need to process. You do the work in me, Lord. I also want to debunk the myth that all meditation isn't quiet. There's walking meditations and different movement meditations.
Mhm.
There's eating meditations. Um, when I'm working with children, there is different breath works that I do. One is called like the chicken breath. It's dynamic breathing,
Mhm.
and you literally are, putting your fingers, your thumbs under your arms, and you're flapping like a bird. But this particular meditation partnered with this breath work,
Mhm.
it helps energize you. So if you have something that you got to do before you go to bed or something, rather than drinking some coffee and you're like, oh man, now I got to be up for an hour. But this type of breath work helps with the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system and allows your body to be energized, but you can still go to sleep after you're done. So I love meditation. Obviously, because of what I do, I might be biased, but it has absolutely changed my life. And everyone can meditate. Everyone can meditate. I run into people that's like, oh, I think in theory meditation is good, but I can't meditate. I ain't got the time. I can't sit still. And you don't have to have, there's no right or wrong way to meditate. There it is, this type of practice,
Mhm.
Ronnie, is different because like if there is like something like you're learning how to, I don't know, let's say build a car or something. There's a physical parameter where you say, okay, this is this, then I put
Mhm.
this on this, and then you can see physically, something building upon. But with meditation, mindfulness, breath work, and cognitive behavioral therapy, these are things that are in the background. These are the things that are in your mind and your subconscious. And yeah, meditation just helps you piece all those things together.
Well, thank you so much for breaking that down for some, because I know that you helped somebody just by explaining that. I know that somebody has been on, I just feel it. Somebody has been on the fence about, do I meditate? Do I not meditate? How do I meditate? And you just explained that, there are different types of meditations. It's not always, just sitting quiet and, you're doing this. A lot of people think it's that you're just sitting quiet and, and you're doing that.
Yeah.
And it's not that. It's so much more. And I know, even as a coach, when we, on the first day, well, even the second day, starting our 2 day life coaching intensive, um, two-day intensive that we do for the certification, meditation is part of the process, because in order to understand something, sometimes you do have to go a little bit deeper. Sometimes it is necessary for you to put your mind, like you said, mindfulness, to really be present.
Yes.
And I don't think that a lot of people understand the importance of being present. Even just having a conversation in the room with somebody else, um and not, I don't know, like being on your phone or not being distracted by certain things, like really being present so that you really take in like the fullness, the essence, like the experience, the environment.
Yes, I love that, Ronnie.
I
As
love.
you're saying it, like I'm just like imagining, like I'm there with you. Like you're not in Texas right now, but
Well, look. Hopefully, when we all meet up, all seven, eight of us, however many that it is, I hope that maybe you can, take us through a short, meditation, and that would be so awesome. I'm just looking forward to just meeting each and every one of you because, like we're all unique, you know and I think that was by God's design, for Lachey to choose. I'm gonna choose this one, and I'm gonna choose that one, and I'm gonna choose this one because, like, we're all so different, but in sync with this vision,
yeah,
that she has for the birthing season. So
yes. Ooh, Ronnie, okay. I'm just like getting so excited. Like, I know we don't have all night, but I'm just like, ooh, we can talk about this and this and this.
you know, I
Because all of these things are so interconnected.
Mhm.
Even what you just said about um, all of us being different. We have a God that loves variety.
Ooh,
He loves variety. He delights in our differences and
mhm.
our idiosyncrasies and the things that make us special. Um, and I would love to do some breath work with our group. That'd be amazing. I actually um, I had a Zoom meeting uh, with someone about a week ago now. Time
Mhm.
is a blur, but about a week ago, and I could tell she was coming to our meeting a little, maybe anxious. I'll
Yeah.
say anxious,
Yep.
and um, I said, you know, it's okay. You're here. We're here in this moment, in this present moment.
Mhm.
Um, And I reminded her that, it's fine and everything's going to be all right. And she was like, yeah, Ashley, I'm just really overwhelmed right now.
Mhm.
And I I literally just did some breath work with her right there. I was like, if it's helpful to you, let's just go ahead and do it. Then we can get to talking about what we need to talk about. And um, it really was able to help her. And it has absolutely helped me too. I grew up really with a sense of anxiety for years, even before I knew the word anxiety. um,
Wow.
yeah, I know. It's no mystery because I'm sure you're aware of it, Ronnie, in your business as well. That self care, mental health, is not something that has traditionally been pushed or even truly supported in BIPOC populations.
Mhm.
So when I didn't even have words to express, what I was going through. And when I really started my journey of doing my work to heal through past traumas, and really just start to follow the leading of God in my own healing.
Mhm.
And meditation was something that automatically, immediately helped me overcome having panic attacks, and really just having anxiety sit in my body. Um, and even working with clients for years before I started my company officially. I was already kind of doing this work and helping people.
Yeah.
Um, but, working with clients when I was like a visitation specialist and things like that.
Mhm.
And, it was clients that, you know, everybody didn't want to work with them. Everybody would kind of leave either that job or that client or that family after a couple visits. But
Mhm.
those people were really able to learn new skills with me. And yeah, I absolutely love what I do. So,
I can tell. It shows. It shows. Now, the probably the last question I would like to ask you on tonight is, in your opinion,
yes.
what is required to birth something? Look, sips tea.
Yeah, literally. My little Snoopy. My little Snoopy. Um,
Ooh.
all right. To birth something, the first thing that comes up for me is waiting and expectation.
Mm.
Waiting and expectation. So I'm going to show a little bit of my nerddom right now. But have you heard of Hamilton?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. Have
Yes.
you seen it?
Now I haven't watched it,
Okay,
but I.
okay, okay.
Okay.
So
Being honest.
Aaron Burr, Aaron Burr has a song in Hamilton entitled um, "Wait for It," and a line of this song is, "I'm not standing still. I'm lying in wait."
Mm.
And that that is literally the bottom of that answer for me. Like, it, to drop all the way down and feel the fullness of that, I know that that's what it is. When something is being birthed in you, there is a patience that you have to have. Um, and if you try to hurry it through, you can literally cause suffering to yourself, because it takes time to grow. It takes time to be nourished. It takes time to be cultivated. But it's not a passive waiting. It's not a passive waiting. When you are lying in wait, it means you are prepared and you are literally waiting on God to say, okay, now. And that is what I know is required to birth something. Yeah.
I I love that. And when you said nurture and the fact that it's an active it's an active way. The one thing that I want anyone who attends this event to walk away with is the fact that you can you can operate in what um in the small things, and just realize that small steps take you to the next level. And it is a process and it is a journey, but you're moving, but you're going somewhere. I think sometimes we may get a little bit overwhelmed because we don't think we are where we should where we should be. Okay,
Mhm.
so like a lot of I hear people say, I'm not there. I'm not where I should be. I should be already, already there. And maybe sometimes that's true. Maybe there are some things that have been blockages, for you. Maybe there are some obstacles that were too hard to climb because you didn't have the tools. But
Mhm.
once you have tools, you spoke of the tools earlier. Once you have tools and you start to move and you operate in those tools, and you notice, okay, well, I was back here, but now I'm here. You're making progress. And I think it's important for us to acknowledge the process of birthing something. It's not a race to birth something.
Mhm.
It's not. It's a it's a beautiful um it's a beautiful experience that, in the first, thinking of physical, in the first trimester, you have these certain things that happen. In the second trimester, you have these certain things that will happen. In the third trimester, you have these certain things that will happen. What happens in the third trimester doesn't happen in the first. But you had to get through the first and the second to get
Come
to the
on, no, Ronnie,
to
come
be ready to
on.
hear somebody to tell you to push.
Yes,
God said push.
yes.
Okay, I'm done.
Look, I'm trying not to have us here all night. I can do it as a, you know, I obviously like reflecting. I'm trying to tell you. But yes, yes. It,
Okay.
it's a process to honor. And kind of going back to what I mentioned earlier about being thankful for the whole gamut
Mhm.
of the experience, not just the good stuff, not just the things that we perceive as bad, but everything. Because the things that you learned last year, and there's things that happened that were good last year too,
Yeah.
but we can't take that into this year. We can't take that into next year. And being in the present moment is the only thing that we can truly experience and be in control of. And even if that is just being able to control our breath, being able to control how we respond rather than being in a position where we're always reacting to different things. Um, and I know I mentioned cognitive behavioral therapy. I'm not sure if everyone knows what that is.
Break it down.
Yeah, so how I explain it
Mhm.
is where a maybe a therapist or a psychiatrist. These are people that are going to do talk therapy. They're going to do maybe the diagnosing, giving of medicines. As a practitioner myself, what I do is I teach skills. I teach skills. So cognitive behavioral therapy is the model that I use. And cognitive behavioral therapy is kind of like that automatic reel that plays in the back of your head. um, some of us may have old programming that says, oh, well, I want to be a doctor, but nobody in my family was a doctor. I can't do that. Uh,
Mhm.
I want to be the first person in my city to do this, but nobody ever that looked like me ever did this. So I can't do it. And what happens is these negative cognitions, they're automatic. So when a reel plays, it just plays. But when we can retool these thoughts, then we can change how we view ourselves, how we view others, how we view situations. And back to what I mentioned earlier, it puts us in a position to respond rather than reacting. And I'll end with this and we'll wrap up. I honor your time, Ronnie. Thank
Oh
you.
no, no, you.
Okay. Um, the way that for me, what I offer my clients with meditation and cognitive behavioral therapy paired together
Mhm.
is meditation, as I mentioned before, is allowing God to speak to us, giving God that permission, and we're literally being in oneness with Him. Cognitive behavioral therapy is the model that allows us to transform. So if you think about a river, this is something I use as a visualization tool when I'm working with meditation with clients. So if you visualize a river, and even if you close your eyes right now, Ronnie, just visualize a river, and you'll see water in this river. If you notice and look a little deeper, you're looking at details, you may see the water passing over certain rocks or certain passageways in a different way. The water is going in one area or it's flowing in one way, it's going down the hill or whatever the river may look like to you. The flow is the same direction. But if you pay attention, the rocks or whatever is underneath the river bends the water in different ways in different areas. So if we see our thoughts like the river, like the water running down the river, and we notice that there's different things in our lives that we consistently react to the same way. We're not responding, but we're reacting to these things the same way.
Mhm.
It's the same thing as the visualization of the river and then the different rocks and the different avenues within under the water, um, and we can change that. So that's just a visualization of cognitive behavioral therapy as it relates to meditation.
Meditation, yes.
Yeah.
And and as you spoke about that, I was seeing the river. And I already saw the rocks that you were talking about, and I saw bigger rocks and smaller rocks, and sometimes the bigger rocks was making the water flow a different what, just like what you said. So that's awesome. That's a wonderful um, therapy, and that is something that I um, had studied a little bit of. But thank you so much for really bringing out what that looks like, and what that is, and how that operates with meditation. Because sometimes with meditation, well, there's a visual, there's something that we visualize in our mind, and focus on as well. So that is good stuff, and I can't wait for everybody to meet you. You have such a warm spirit. Your voice is so comforting. I'm sure that you hear that often, but but
Thank you, Ronnie.
yes, but I just wanted to say that as well. Um, but anyway, thank you so much for coming on tonight, Ashley Salem.
Thank you for having me. Oh, and I just noticed, look, okay, you have your flowers on. I got my
Oh
flowers
yes,
on.
yes. I took note of that. I didn't say anything. I was like, she got her flowers on. She got some flowers behind her. Yeah,
Yes.
got a little
You look
floral.
beautiful.
Thank you, and so do you,
Thank
as
you.
always.
As always, you.
And thank you so much. Um, Now, next, well, no. Yes, our next guest is actually going to be on this Saturday at noon, and it is going to be Deshelle Lee.
Yes. Me and her have been praying together.
Yes,
So, just a little preview for everyone that is listening. She has a wonderful testimony. So definitely jump on and listen and get to know her as well.
yes, you are definitely going to enjoy her. And if you are still on the fence about registering, please go ahead and register. It takes like literally probably about 5 seconds. It's just your name, it's just your email, and that's it. Confirmation done. Seat is secured for the event. And I just want to end this live on tonight with this one thought. Um, are you worth it? This is the one powerful question that I want to ask you on tonight. Are you worth it? Because guess who thinks you are worth it? God. He thinks you are worth it. And He has set something special in each and every one of us. And if you haven't pushed it out, if you haven't birthed that yet, then this
Mm,
event is for you. It really is.
absolutely. That's a
So
beautiful prompt, Ronnie.
thank you so much. To God be the glory for that. Anyway, have a wonderful night, everybody. I will see you on Saturday at noon with our next guest, part 4 of the birthing season on the Girl You Better podcast.
Yes. Thank you for having me. Have a good night, everyone. If you would like to get in contact with me on Facebook and Instagram and even on YouTube, my handles is Benevolence Disposition, and I'd be happy to get to know you.
Yes, in her link tree, with all, I mean, she has lots of ways to get in contact with her. Go to my post. I posted on Instagram. I posted here as well. Go to her link tree in Benevolence Disposition, and you can get in contact with Miss Ashley Salem.
All right. Have a good night. Thank you so much.
Have a blessed night. Bye bye.